one time. You make me happy.
Love you, buddy.
Hey, you get off my cloud. All that negativity ain't gonna be bringing me down. Just keeping positive's a motto to the end. Hand out the window on the highway, riding the wind. Yep. Got scrappy in that old Kentucky playpen. When looking back now, I'm left wondering where them days went. Away went for sure, yeah, they spin. When they hates when I'm waving with that Honolulu hang 10. I'm just doing what I want. Mountains there to climb on. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you dive on. The prize must be what you keep your eyes on. A focused mind like I studied under masters up in Taiwan. Let that truth hit you. Tunes get jujitsu. Don't bitch, dude. You lace them up if that shoe fits you. We with you. Man, sometimes you gotta fix you. But no excuses, no din-dos. Man, just lay back and turn it up. Ray, word 'em up. Working on his farmer's tan underneath the burning sun. We gonna ride this cover wagon till its last wheel. Gotta love it when the music sounds just like the grass feels. Hey, you get off my cloud. All that negativity ain't gonna be bringing me down. Just keeping positive's a motto to the end. Hand out the window on the highway, riding the wind. Hey, you get off my cloud. All that negativity ain't gonna be bringing me down. Just keeping positive's a motto to the end. Hand out the window on the highway, riding the wind. Hey yo, Ray. Hey yo, Ray. Hey yo, Ray. Hey yo, Ray. Hey yo, Ray.
There, Mars up there. What's going on? We got day 8 with Mars. All right, let's go, people. Today's Friday. Who is stoked to be here on Friday? I know I'm excited to be here on Friday. Okay, Friday is awesome. That means we got a live tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna talk about some stuff. I already got some heavy stuff lined up to chit chat about. I'm excited, bro. I am excited. You know, I'm working on getting that old Zoom too. Every time I think I got this live thing all pulled together, something else pops up that I gotta get. I gotta integrate. So I'm getting that Zoom because you know what? I got a couple of interviews, a couple of big interviews coming up. And in fact, one of them is Neil. We got Neil Whitehead, the author and artist of the book, Line and Wash the Urban Landscape. Fantastic book, highly recommend it. It just gets a whole bunch of the fantastic elements of what's going on in painting urban landscape. A whole bunch of tools set up so you can instantaneously jump into it and have a lot of fun. He explains it fantastically. And I tell you what is this? If this doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. Look at that. Look how exciting that is. Look how exciting that is. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. We got him coming up on the 14th. Okay, we're going to do that on the 14th. That's next Friday. Okay, people. So I'm really excited about that. Really pumped. Really pumped. Looking forward to talking to Neil about that. Yeah, I'll put his, if you want his book, I'll put a link down below in the description. Get his book. Get his book. That's awesome. So I'm really excited about that. Okay. Then I tell you what, I already had somebody purchase. This bad boy. Boop. Doesn't that look good? I know it's a little crooked. I know I got to fix it up, get my fingerprints, but I put them in these acrylic frames. How cool is that? I love these acrylic frames. I got to fix that right up there. I got to line it up, but I was in a hurry. I had to get my video done, okay? So this is the California Tower at Balboa Park. Already going out to somebody. Thank you for your support. Thanks for your purchase. Really helps out. It keeps me going. Helps me to be able to buy, you know, supplies, art supplies, keep these videos going, and stay excited, man. Stay excited, because you want to, you know, when you're doing this kind of stuff, you want to know that you're having some kind of positive impact. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like I'm just making these videos, shooting it out into the great void and all that kind of stuff. So it really feels good when people are saying, you know what? I really like what you're doing. And so much so that I'd like to purchase it. So thank you for that. And of course, if anybody else wants to buy anything, bro, come on. Let's do it. Let's get her done. Wet my whistle. You know, I like that kind of thing. Let's go. All right. So we got our live coming up on Saturday. Sunday, we got a Sunday fun day coming on. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. I think I got a couple of things I'm trying to pull off. So be looking out for that. Then on Tuesday, we're going to have Asian O the Outlaw. We're going to talk to him. We're going to actually do a He Punk review. Okay, that's a comic book done by Vasilis Lolos. He's a Eisner Award winning comic book artist. Okay, this guy ain't no joke. All right, he's all the way over there in Greece, in Athens, doing his thing. Okay, we're gonna even try to get him on, but of course it's gonna be late his time. But we're gonna still make a go of it and try to get that on. But nevertheless, we're gonna have a fantastic conversation about his latest comic book, Heat Punk. Now he's getting ready to release another one called Saturn Head, and so it's all fantastic, all really interesting. He's a very creative person. He's, you know, when you think about an artist, that's what he is. He's all the way out there. All the way out there in the Looney Tune bin, right? And sometimes you need that just to broaden your horizon and get your vision up and say, oh yeah, that's what art should be, like that guy right there. And so we're gonna go ahead and I'm talking to Asian O, and he's a fantastic creative person himself. Does all kinds of interesting films and shorts and all kinds of stuff. Very creative person. We're gonna have him on, and we're gonna go over Heat Punk. Have a good time with it, okay? So come join us for that, all right? That's going to be at on Tuesday, right? Then on Wednesday, we're going to have the Bruvs Unite. You know, we're going to go ahead and get that. We're going to get some more guys on there. We're going to have a good time. Get James back because we really had a great talk last time. Last Wednesday, we had a banger of a conversation about what the hell's going on in the biggest problem in the universe. And so we talked about that, had a lot of fun. What the hell's going on with Ralph? Ethan Ralph. Talked about that. That was real fun. And so we're going to get into it again, you know. So then on Friday, we'll have Neil Whitehead. I'm still working on trying to get the scheduling worked out for Mattis Adelson. Really excited about him. He's got fantastic illustrations. And I actually got a couple other ones that I'm trying to work out too. But, you know, this schedule, and everybody's in a different part of the world, you know. Everybody's asleep when I'm awake, and I'm asleep when they're awake. And so, you know, it's a lot of fun. And plus, I can't just get up out of bed and turn it on like this, people. I got to, you know, get pretty. You know what I mean? I got to get going, you know, and I wake up out of bed, so don't leave me alone. Leave me alone. That's how I am. Big bulldog getting out of bed. I got to get a little coffee in me, get a little sunshine action going, you know. Hell, I used to wake up right out of bed and work out, and that's how I would wake up, you know. But now I got to get these videos going, and I do my workout after the videos. So the workout used to wake me up, but now I'm like, oh, grumpy, oh, grumpy. And so I'm a grumpy pants in the morning. Of course I am. Of course I am. My hair is all everywhere like this. Oh, what's going on, people? What's going on? You know. So that's how I go in the morning. So. But you know what? You can always catch me late at night because I'm in my prime late at night. I go until like 3 in the morning, you know, and I have a good time doing that. So that's awesome. And I got a couple other interviews starting to, you know, crystallize, if you were. So I'm excited about that too. So let me ask you something. How you doing today on this Friday? You getting all excited? Is there something you're excited about? Can you get excited about something for me? Can you check your pulse, make sure you're still alive, get that genuine desire pumping through your veins in the form of excitement and passion so that it impacts not only your life but the people around you. Then how you doing with that critical eye? You ain't letting them beat you up, are you? Put him back in the hole. He's going to tell you suck, you're a phony, you're a fake, all that kind of stuff. He's going to come at you. Even when you think you got it dialed in for a good year, there'll be that one day when he just comes for you. You'll be sleeping. He'll just jump right up on your bed trying to come for your throat. You'll wake up thinking, oh, I ain't got no more time. I'm out of time. It's too late for me. I'm going to be a failure my whole life. That's a lie. Put him back in his hole. Say, nah, critical eye, you got out your hole. You got to go back in there. And then jam his ass back in that hole. Okay? Use that impulse control as a stick to beat his ass back in that hole. All right? And then we got to check in on our schedule. How's your schedule doing? You maintaining your schedule for these 30 days? You getting your watercolors going? You know, this is the last day we're going to be inside today. Now, I thought yesterday was Friday, but it's not. Today's Friday. So I kept saying, tomorrow, Saturday, tomorrow. And it's not. Tomorrow, Saturday, not today. Today's Friday. So we did more of a traditional watercolor studies yesterday from the thumbnails of Nathan folks. And today we're going to do a couple of 3 more different studies, okay, on the inside. But we're going to do them like our boy Neil Whitehead would do them, okay? And these are going to be fun. This is one of the reasons that I'm really, really attracted to watercolor. You know, you can splatter it around, okay? Splatter around. You can get that wet on wet, and that's what we're going to do today, okay? How about some of these right here, all right? Some of those right there. We're gonna splatter it around. We're gonna get into it today. I already tried to cover up all my cables, and I tried to hide all my books so that the water don't get crazy. I got my 3 brushes right here, but I got one more. Bam! The toothbrush. Okay, now the toothbrush is awesome. You dip it in it and you just go like this, and he makes all kinds of splatter. Okay, you do it like that. You'll see. It'll be a lot of fun. Don't worry, I got little lens protectors on my camera. Of course, I had to get those. You know, I don't want to get anything on my lenses. Heaven forbid you have that little smudge right there on your lens for the rest of your life. And every time you're making a video and you're editing and you're watching, you're looking at it, you're like, "Urgh," you're getting all angry. So take care of yourself. Get those lens protectors. Let that be a lesson to you people, okay? Get those lens protectors, right? Sometimes when you order something from Amazon, you gotta look at it, because they come with all these kind of crazy dings and scratches and whatnot. And you know, I don't know about you, but recently I've been really realizing that Amazon is sending me, when I buy something brand new, something somebody else returned, and boy, that pisses me off. That happened to me today, okay? So I gotta send something back, and I'm all angry about it. But it's all right, no big deal. We just kind of take it as we go. We get excited. We keep pushing through. And we focus on what we're really excited about, and that really helps us to keep our genuine desire in a really strong stream, okay? And we keep that critical eye locked up so the stream can keep flowing, okay? And then we use our schedule to focus that stream. Remember, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Where your energy flows, your world grows. How about that? I just added that right there. You saw it, live action right there, live action. So we'll get a little bit of that going right there. Now, today, I reckon what we'll be doing, let me grab one of these pens over here. I'm going to grab one of these Copic liners. Okay, this is what I got right here. You see that? Little Copic liner, multi-liner Copic. 0.7. What is that, 0.7? I think it's 0.7. Oh, it's upside down. There we go. Yeah, 0.7. Bam! Multi-liner SP Copic waterproof. That's what we're going to use today. And we're going to go ahead and use some of these thumbnails from Nathan Folks. We're going to use some of his colors, but we're going to do it in the style of our man, Neil Whitehead. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. We're going to throw it around, and let's just get to it. Now, I got to wake up my watercolor, so get your spritzer out. All right, wake up your watercolors. Spritz around. You got to wake it up. Maybe clean off your palette if you want to clean it off. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and set up my camera too. Here we go, here we go, here I am. Here's our good old, we got our 3 studies from yesterday. As you can tell, I already covered them up very nicely with the plastic. You can see that right there, covered them with the plastic, because I don't want to get them all messed up. Okay, I'm going to leave the bottom. I don't mind if the bottom gets messed up. Or maybe I do, I don't know. We'll see how we go. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pick one of these thumbnails from Nathan Folks, and I'm gonna take my pen, my multi-liner, and I'm just gonna go ahead and gonna pick this one with the mountains. We're gonna find where the horizon line is, maybe right there, and we're gonna put some of the mountains in there. Now, when we're doing this, we're just having a good time, okay? Because remember, the most important thing that's going to happen is going to be in the wash, okay? Check that out. That's all you got to do right there. Can you see that nice and good? Can you see that nice and good? Let me bring it down a little bit. Boop. There we go. That's a little bit better. You can see it a little bit better right there. I have my little blocks holding it up. See right there? My little 2x2 blocks. But we don't need those, okay? Maybe we'll need them some other time. So now that's all the drawing I'm going to do, people. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? So I already got my watercolor paper wet, my sketchbook. Now the link to the sketchbook I use is down in the description. Go ahead and go buy that. It's just the what is it? It's a Canson multimedia sketchbook. I love these sketchbooks. Okay, so we're just gonna take some of the hints from our boy Nathan Folks over here, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get some of this crazy colors. Today we're going to focus on crazy colors, okay? So what I want to do first is put a little bit of water down, okay? I'm going to put a little bit of water down right here above the mountain, all right? Maybe I'll do it up until the first layer mountain, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Let that water, give it a second just to settle in there. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a really strong cobalt blue. Okay. I'm just putting this straight from the palette. I'm not even mixing it with anything. I'm just grabbing it. I'm just putting it in there, letting it do its little thing, or what. I don't know what it's gonna do. We'll see. Now let's go ahead and get some red. We'll mix that red down a little bit. Okay, like that. Now, people, I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is going to be an experiment, just like, you know, you're doing the experiment, I'm doing the experiment. That's why I love watercolor. Because watercolor, you never know what the hell you're going to get. You don't. Now we need a strong yellow. Now I'm going to grab a straight strong yellow with a little bit of orange in it. I'm just going to run it across the top. Okay? Just like this. Let it do its thing. All right? Now I still got that water on there, still doing its thing. I'm just gonna let it, see how it's dripping down right there? Can you see that? It's starting to run down, the yellow's starting to run down into the mountains right there. That's beautiful, that's beautiful. We're letting it just do its thing. You see the water beading up right there? Just let it do that. Because next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna take some of this blue-green, we're just gonna grab some blue-green, maybe a little black. We're just gonna come in here and touch it. Touch it like that, okay? Touch it. All right. Now I'm just going to jump into the foreground. Going to jump right into the foreground. Okay. And that looks like it's a nice warm brown. Orange yellowish brown. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and do that. Maybe knock it down a little bit. Bam, 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 bam. You got to make the sound effects, people. Okay. Bam, bam. All right. Now let's go ahead and let's have some fun with our toothbrush while it's still wet. Let's grab some of this. I don't know. I don't know, what color should we go with? What color should we go with? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do first. Let's grab this medium-sized brush first, and let's put in some bushes. But let's grab this green, grab a green, mix it down with a black or a brown a little bit, just to dirty it up a little bit, and just start throwing that on there. Okay, throw it on there. And what's what we're doing? We're just throwing it on there, just having a good time. Okay, and those will be our bushes for a second. All right. All right, yeah, that looks like what we're doing right there. Okay, now we have to decide if we're going to let that stand and then let it dry as a wash and then come back and do something else on it. And I think that's what we should do, because if we don't, we're going to mess up this cool little interactions that we have going on in the mountains. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use 2 washes to do this. We're going to use our texture with the toothbrush on the second wash. Okay, so we're going to leave him chill for a little bit. All right, we're going to let him chill for a little bit. If you notice, I threw down all of those drops, but because the rest of the page was wet, the drops diffused and they lost their shape. So we're going to let that chill for a minute. All right, we're going to let that chill for a minute. We're going to go ahead, we're going to grab here we go, get our little multi-liner again, our little Copic multi-liner SP 0.7. Okay, and we're going to come up here and we're going to say, okay, let's pick out another one. Well, this one's pretty cool. Let's grab this one over here. Let's find where the horizon line is, way up here. Okay, and then it's got this cool little valley. Now what I'm doing, I'm just trying to make shapes. I'm just looking at the shapes, people. I'm not trying to make a valley. I'm not trying to make anything. I'm saying to myself, well, this looks like a triangle right here. This looks like a triangle. So that triangle kind of touches that spot right there. And then it looks like there's a line that runs right there. And then I see this diagonal from the middle of the left side to maybe 3/4 or all the way to the right side. And then there's like a little rock action right here. And so that's kind of like my game plan right there. Okay, that's my game plan. All right, and that's it. That's the kind of shapes that I'm thinking about. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab our medium brush again. And what I'm seeing is a blue that transitions to a green. And so we're going to leave the sky alone, and we're going to start in the distance with the blue that transitions to a green. So we're just going to grab a blue with a little cobalt, little Corellian action in there. We're just going to blue. Okay, put some blue in there. That's nice and strong, isn't it? It's a good strong blue. Grab some green, have some fun with it. Mix a little black into it. And then we're going to go ahead and pull it up right here like so. Maybe put a dash in there. And it's a little bit lighter over there. Then let's go ahead and do a strong green, okay? Do a strong green, all right? Stronger green right here. Boom. All right, now we're happy with that, okay? Now we want a yellow and a blue for the sky. A little bit of yellow. Just a little bit of yellow. Bam! Okay, there it is right there. That's it. That's what we got right there. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do some Neil Whitehead action. Go ahead and take a yellow green. Okay, and we'll touch some of these places up here. Okay, and just let that yellow. Now, see, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at that yellow green. I'm saying to myself, that's not strong enough. So I got to go stronger with the yellow. Okay, because it's got to fight through the green that's already there, people. It's got to fight through it. Okay, and maybe as it recedes back, it turns to an orange because an orange is a cooler than a yellow. Okay, so maybe back here it's more of an orange or something like that. We're just gonna touch it and then let the watercolor do the work for us. Okay, that's why I love the watercolor. You've heard me say that so many times, I know. Then let's go ahead and get a pink. And let's get this mountain a nice pink. Let's touch that. Touch it, touch it. You know, maybe the shadows or something. And maybe even put a little bit more blue in there because that pink might be just a tad bit too bright. Okay? Too hot. It's too hot for us. We gotta cool it off. Cool it off. Okay? And this is more of an abstract painting. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Look how cool that looks. Look how nice that looks. It looks so nice. Now let's take some of this orange. Now the orange is going to be the star of the show on these rocks right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some rocks. You know, I'm not even thinking about the rock shape. I'm just putting strokes down. Okay. Remember, proportion and placement. That's what's going to give your eye the idea. Like, hey, those are rocks. Those are rocks right there. That's what those are. And that's kind of that's the magic of watercolor. Okay, let's go ahead and put like some lighter colors in here. There we go. That's the magic of watercolor. All right. So now we're looking at him, and I'm like, okay, let's let him do his thing. We're gonna come back to this guy over here. Okay, we're gonna come back to this guy over here. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun with our splatter. So get yourself some green. Splatter, 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 splatter. Okay, that's fun. I like that. Notice how the drops are keeping their shape now. We like that. Okay, get some blue. Get some blue. Get a little blue. Blue green. Okay, a little shadow. These can be the shadows in the foreground. All right. Yeah, that's fun. All right. Now, if you really want to have some fun, go ahead and get some of your toothbrush. Get your toothbrush action. Boom. Don't get the one you actually use, people. Don't be retarded. You don't want to get that in your teeth. Okay. Get one you've already used. Maybe you kept it around. Look how fun that is. Okay. Now we're getting it all down here and everything too, but that's all right. It'll be bonus for next time. Okay. Bonus. Now look at all that fun texture that I got in there. Okay. Now if you don't want the texture, maybe you don't want the texture up here in your sky. Just take a clean brush, get some water on it, and just smooth it on out. And they disappear just like that. Boom. Disappear. Disappear. Okay. They disappear. Maybe you don't want them in your mountain. Disappear. Disappear. I tell you to disappear. Disappear. I command you in the name of Jesus to disappear. Disappear. All right. Now let's just grab some black. We need some grays in there. So let's grab some black, mix it with the blue, and we'll just come in here and we'll put some gray. The gray is going to tie it all together. It's going to be the workhorse. Okay. It's going to be the workhorse. Get rid of some of that white. There we go. Got the gray in there. This is more of an abstract or impressionistic painting, and that's okay. So I'm digging this. I'm digging the texture. I'm digging the texture right there. Look how fun that texture. It is so busy. Now, if you want to make it a little more realistic, grab some of black, mix it into a green, and just put some verticals in there. The verticals could be bushes. Okay, put some verticals in there. All right, there you go. Now you got some little bushes hanging around, little sticks or whatever, and it gives the impression of foliage. Okay, people, foliage. All right, that's what we got going on right there. Now that's a busy little panel. That's a little tiny 2x3 that's gonna pack a punch. You got me? It's packing a punch. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So now we're looking back at this guy. He still needs to dry a little bit. That's why you do 3 at a time. You do 3 at a time. You can move it all around. So let's go ahead and let's get our Copic multiliner SP.7. Boop. Let's get him out there and let's find ourselves another one to do. Another one to do. We're having a good time with this one and this one. Let's have a good time with this one, and let's figure out something else to do. Now he's got a cool red one up there. I'm trying to figure out which one would be fun, a fun balance. You know, that's what I'm trying to look for. And I'm thinking maybe maybe we go with this one up here. That's kind of a beige and purple. So let's go with that. He's got sky right here. And then he's just got some stuff in the foreground. Okay? I don't know what that stuff is, but it's in the foreground. Now this would be a fun one to do because we can do a lot of this wet on wet action. Okay, wet on wet. Remember, we're doing it like Neil Whitehead. We're doing it, trying to do it like him, trying to take some influence from his line and wash, the urban landscape, okay? Just like how he does his little splatter action like that, pulls it down into the wet on wet, lets it drip down, and he gets these beautiful washes at the end. See, we got that going on right here. We got that going right here. We just need to add some splatter, and we'll have kind of a mix. All right. Now I was going to show you that there's another tool you have in your toolbox, and that's your spritzer. Okay. If you ever have like a whole bunch of this, say you have a whole bunch of this, let me put it over here, a whole bunch of this texture over here, and you want to soften it all up. All you got to do is take your spritzer and spritz it. Okay. Now I'm not going to do that to right here because it's still pretty wet, and if I spritzed it, the whole thing would go out of focus. You know, it's like some sort of Gaussian blur. You know, if you apply that filter to a photo, it just blurs the whole thing. It makes it quite nice, but it blurs the whole thing. All right, so we're good to go with the Copic multi-liner. Put him back. All right, we're gonna go with our fun little beige and purple. So find out where we're at. We're gonna go ahead and come up here. We're gonna get some purple, some Corellian blue mixed in, maybe some cobalt. Oh no, maybe even French ultramarine. Yeah, let's French ultramarine. Okay. And let me push this over here so you guys can see it. Fantastic, fantastic. And we're just gonna go ahead and give that thing a nice little wash like so. All right. And then you might be marching forward. Give the water a path to drain. Now remember, I'm painting on top of this board, which is my desk, but it's at an angle, so that everything runs down. If you're not painting at an angle, you need to do that. Otherwise, the water will just pool up and stay in one place and not run down your page. That's critical. When you're doing watercolor, you must paint at an angle with watercolor to control. Use gravity as your friend instead of your enemy. You see what I'm saying, people? We don't like enemies around here. We want everybody to be our friend. That's probably not going to happen, but you know, we're going to paint the foreground. That needs to be a little bit warmer, maybe a little bit of orange. And there we go. We got some of that foreground in there. Okay, got some of that going on right there. Now it's okay if you vary away from what your thumbnail is supposed to look like, because we're trying to take the you know, the impression of the thumbnail or what we see, and we're trying to interpret it our own way. And then we're also trying to take the influence of Neil Whitehead with line and wash and utilize that a little bit too. Now I'm saying his name a lot because I'm excited. He's going to come on and do that interview. So of course I'm excited about that. I'm already getting stoked about it. It's already a week away. No, it's a week away. Just putting some brown up here. All right. Now what I see that I really need to do is I need to establish that horizon line. So we're going to take some of this cobalt blue, mix a little bit of brown in it, a little bit of red, and we're just going to really come in here and just slam it on, slam a dark value color. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we got it right there. All right. Now notice how it runs down. It's already helping me paint. Can you see it help me paint? I'm going to have to pay this guy. He's already helping me paint. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild? All right, so let's go ahead and take some turquoise and mix it with a little bit of yellow or yellow green, and let's do some splatter in the foreground. You know, this whole thing, it's desaturated and it's meant to make the foreground have that saturated color. So we're going to do that right there like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take some straight turquoise, not the gay one, the straight one. All right. We're going to put it in there like that. Okay. Have a good time doing that. All right. Now to finish her off, we're going to take a little bit of orange, and we're just going to go ahead and tap in here. Okay. Just going to tap it in here. Vary our strokes up. Now this is more, like I said, more of an impressionistic type of painting. Okay. Now we're going to leave him bee as he is while he dries. We're gonna come back to our other one, our number two man. Okay, we're gonna come back up here. We're gonna check our thumbnail. We're gonna check a little Neil. We're gonna see where can we go ahead and utilize some of his ideas, and I'm gonna utilize it right here. We're gonna take some of this ultramarine blue and some magenta, mix them together, get a nice purple. And we're just going to go ahead and slam that son of a beach. Son of a beach, that's okay, I'm saying beach. We're gonna slam that son of a beach right here. Kind of give this valley some depth, okay? We're gonna walk it back towards a blue green, okay? We're gonna go ahead and put that in there like so. Give it a little bit of depth right there in the middle ground, okay? And don't try to make your strokes all pretty or whatever, just let them connect and run around. And as you can see, it's connecting, it's running around, it's already starting to interact with the wash layer below it and make some really pretty washes. Look how pretty that is. That's really, really pretty. So we are loving that. Now I want to suggest some shadow, so I'm going to take a blue. Okay, I'm just going to suggest a couple of shadows under these here rocks, all right? I'm not thinking about the structure of the rock. I'm just thinking about putting the blues in there. I'm thinking about the colors. I'm not thinking about the painting. I'm not as far as like the shapes of everything. I'm just thinking about the colors, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slam. I like saying that, right? Slam the green in there. To slam a more hardy green, I'm just going to scrumble around a little bit, make a little texture up in here, okay? Put some hardy green up in here, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cool off with a peach, this over here. Grab a peach color and cool it off. Cool it off a bit. Reduce that value. Leave a little bit of it popping through. Maybe even get a little blue. Just touch it in there a little bit. Maybe a little bit of this lighter blue to do that. All right, I think we're looking pretty good. I think we're looking pretty good. Now you can grab your good old toothbrush. Let's get some of this purple, just for fun. Put it in the background. A little texture in the background. Okay. What that's going to do is add a little bit of that atmospheric perspective. Okay. Now, if you don't want it in any particular place, just go ahead and pick her on up. Get your brush, clean it up a little bit. Just pick her on up. Some of that clean water, okay? Now one of the final things I might do is put a couple little verticals in there. The verticals really help in the foreground to draw your attention and make it look like the foreground, give you that illusion, okay? So we'll grab some black and some green. Just kind of put a couple of these happy little friends, as Bob Ross used to say, right? Just a couple of the happy little friends, okay? Just like that, right? And what we might want to do is just add one really, really hot orange, okay? Just to pull it all together in the foreground. Maybe two. Maybe three. All right. And there we go. We got the good old valley painted up right there. Doesn't that look good? Now I got to restart. I got to open up my computer again. Hold on for a minute. Boom. So doesn't that look good? Right there? It looks like a nice little impressionistic, abstract type of landscape. Okay. Now we're going to come back to this one over here. This is our final one that we're doing. We are running right on 32 minutes, guys. So we are ahead of schedule. We are crushing it. We are kicking ass today, taking names, having a good time. And we're about ready to get this final one complete. Okay. So I got this one right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our paintbrush and we're going to get some of this maybe a peach color just to go ahead and blend in the mid-tone a little bit towards the rocks. I don't know, maybe these are bushes. I have no idea. And when we do this, we're softening up some of that texture of those splatters, okay, people? So that looks pretty good. Now what I want to do is I want to increase the strength of that horizon line. Let me go ahead and get some more of that magenta. Now you can also take just plain water and throw it down. Just plain water. That'll work too. You can load up that wash and then let it drip down like that. Look at that. Look, I'm just letting it drip down. See how it's dripping down? How cool is that? It's already working for you. Working for you right there. Okay. So then we're gonna go ahead and lean it back down. It's done its work. I don't want it to keep working, so I'm just gonna absorb those little pools of water. Okay, those little beads of water, as we call them. Okay. All right. Can absorb those. And I think I want to soften up this edge just a bit. So I just dip it in the water, soften it up, soften it up. I leave that hard edge right there because I like it. Okay. Now let's go ahead and try to pull this into the foreground. So I'm just going to grab a darker aqua. Darker aqua. Darker aqua. And we're just going to go ahead and touch a few places in the foreground to really, you know, bring that dark aqua, bring that foreground forward, darker value. Also use it as an excuse to introduce a new color. Okay, put a couple verticals in there. And it's quite possible that these could be flowers. I don't know. So let's go ahead and make a little adjustment. Let's get some of this really strong yellow. Let's put a couple flowers in there. Okay, let's grab your lemon yellow. That's what I got going right here, people. A little lemon yellow action. Put some of them flowers. Maybe it's you know, the spring flowers in the desert. Maybe that's what's going on. So we're taking that influence from Nathan Folks and we're taking it even further. And that's kind of what we got right there. Okay. How about that? How's that look? Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. A lot more abstract, a lot more texture, and we're letting watercolor do the work. And like I say every damn time, it's just that easy, people. It's that easy. Okay. Now these are a lot more, you know, fun and interactive. They're less realistic, but they're a lot more engaging. You know, you got the texture, you got the color, and it still has that kind of feel that when you look at it, it reads like it is an actual landscape. And how awesome is that? Okay. Now we're going to take that off. We got, now we're up to 6 landscapes on this page. Okay. We got some with the traditional style Nathan Folks kind of master study. Then we got a little bit of the master study with a little bit of the urban landscape, line and wash, Neil Whitehead influence in it. And that's kind of how you explore and, you know, you expand your horizon. And maybe you really like there's this watercolor artist, Sue Howells, and I'm trying to get her for an interview. And I repost her stuff. I love her texture. She does such a good job. She's over in England too. And so I'm going to try and get a hold of her. But, you know, I see what she's doing. And I'm like, wow, that's really inspiring. I want to take pieces of that and put it into what I do. You know, and so I get all excited about it. And I go out and I get like a book like this Line and Wash. And I try to augment what I'm doing and have little experiments, you know, in my 30-day or my 30-minute schedule. And I try to see what I come away with. And then eventually I come away with something that you get this comparison right here. Where you have all of the landscapes, and you can see the influence on the bottom row as opposed to the top row. Okay? And before you know it, you're adding more tools to your toolbox. The repertoire, as they say in France, is getting bigger. And you're getting out there and you're slaying dragons, and you're doing all this kind of stuff, and people are saying, I can't believe you do that. And you're saying, oh, I didn't know it was that special. I guess I'm doing pretty good. And so you get all excited about it. Okay? So that's what I task you to do this weekend. Take some of these studies, augment, find somebody you love, augment their style. It could be oil, it could be whatever, you know. And maybe it's just different color harmonies. It could be a whole wide range of things, okay? And try to do some studies and try to, you know, infuse what you're doing with it. Have some experimentation and be excited about it. Kick some ass. We're having a great live tomorrow. Be there for that. We're having a great Sunday fun day. Be there for that. And then we got the whole week starting all over again. We're going to be outside and we're going to be doing it, people. So come do it with me. Come on now. Let's go.